We are at C21, Canadians for 21st Century Learning and Innovation. And I'm here with George Couros. He's a division principal of Innovative Teaching and Learning in Alberta. And I am working together with him at a roundtable, and in our group table we're talking about how we need to provide support for teachers and professional development. George, can you tell us what you're doing in your school division?
One of the programs that we implemented when I was a principal was we basically had teacher professional development led by teachers. The big thing that we really focused on was actually taking the money that we had and putting it back into teacher professional development as opposed to simply buying things, right? We always put money into people. The next part of that though is that we made sure that they had the learning, and then they also had the technology and the hardware to do the things that they were learning about. So, but if you don't let them have professional development, then it doesn't matter what hardware you have in the school, right? It's not going to change anything. So that was really a big focus of where we put our money.
Well, what I really like about this model, and I want it to be sort of an exemplary for many other schools, is as a principal, the enabling environment for teachers to, in a way, choose their own path, to work together. You talked about teachers learning together and emphasizing professional development, not just through, as we were talking about, the talking head, but in a way them working together on problems. And one of the ideas also of our group was to support online professional development as well, and teachers being able to have that time to learn with one another and to have their learning validated through different methods.
Yeah, and I think that as a principal at the time, I have to think about stewardship of resources in our school, like how am I spending my money? So I thought that this would give me the biggest bang for my buck, because teachers were accountable for their own learning, but also, as you said, it helped to build a culture so that it wasn't that, well, the expert was here and now they've left. It's the expert is across the hallway. In that area, but on the other side is an expert in a different thing. So it actually really validated all of the educators in our building as experts in something, so that it really helped to build our community, and we look to each other as opposed to simply looking outside for help.
Well, and that was the other point and recommendation of our group, is looking at that culture of innovation, both among this community of teachers, but focusing also on the students and even the parents. And so the question is, how do you create that culture of innovation and a culture of co-learning? We also talked about student voice, and in the same way that teachers set out their learning goals, how can students set their goals and have the support through teachers and through the broader community to achieve their learning goals? So
when I think that when you put the ownership, and it's like we often put ownership on students and teachers, but we don't give them the opportunity to lead their own way. So we say, you need to do this, and then we tell them how to do it, as opposed to saying, here are some of our priorities in our school, figure out the best way, and then they are accountable. If our school doesn't succeed, it's because we've all failed, but if it does succeed, it's because we've all done it together, right? And I think that as an administrator, you have to give trust that the teachers will do that, but then back them up with money and give them that time. I think that's extremely important.
And it speaks well to the school, and it also speaks to Canada as a country. If some fail, we all fail in a way, and if we succeed, it's because we all work together, and we all have a role to play. So those are highlights from our group discussion. We are contributing to a broader collective sort of declaration, but we just wanted to share what we were speaking about and what we're passionate about from our group.